I've been Mr. B's caretaker for 22 years. He wants to be cryogenically preserved when he deanimates.
He wants to what? He put on ice when he croaks. Frozen like a popsicle.
I think, B storylines or whatever that have a little bit of humor attached to them are necessary. They're in almost every episode of ER because there are ones that are so intense that you just have to have a little bit of something in there to, to lighten it up.
Her character, obviously, if you followed ER, was going through some very heavy personal matters, and this little storyline kind of was her comedic relief.
What's up?
I need ice. Lots of ice.
Huh?
California Cryonics had to put him on ice till their local rep arrives.
The funny part about that was to find a way to cover an 80-year-old actor with ice without killing him. So the property man came up with silicone, chopped it up, and it looked perfectly legitimate, and it's pretty creepy looking, actually.
Heart rate's starting to fluctuate.
Hey, give me a bolus of normal saline 40 cc's. Oh, damn it. The liver's so fragile, my stick cut right through. I should be getting Keaton. I'm gonna take an even bigger bite. Gant, retract this way, I can't see.
Pulse ox is falling. You need to get this baby off the table.
All right, bag her faster, damn it. I'm getting Keaton. No. Go, go.
Benton had never been so shaken in his entire life as he was in this episode.
Blood loss?
100 cc's.
That's a third of her volume. Damn it, what the hell did you do to her liver?
They showed this chink in his armor when he thinks he's doing something that's okay, but he's actually in a completely different universe than what he's was trained to do, and makes a horrible, horrible error in judgment.
The second you realized you screwed up, you should have called me. Why did I find 3 stitches in there?
Because I was
I'll
trying
tell
to
you
get...
why. Because you arrogantly and blindly think you have all the answers. If that baby dies, it'll be my responsibility. But it'll be your fault.
Dr. Keaton, she's crashing.
That was a hard scene. I think I first did it and I wasn't that angry. And they wanted her to lose it more. But that was not my gut instinct of how to get him to hear me.
Chest x-ray.
Don't need it.
I would say of the cut footage that made it into the episode, only 10% were fake babies. Obviously, the sequence where they're in the operating room and you see the baby, I don't want to say obviously because I thought it looked pretty good for a fake baby.
They are these amazing, I don't even know if the word puppet is right. And their little eyes open like this and close like this, and their fingers move like this, and it's really kind of unnerving.
Kid, call the tech, get 2 units on neck to prime the system. I'll cut down to the internal jugular.
So do we bring her back up to the OR?
No, we're gonna bring the OR to her.
That was very hard because I was carrying an infant, and I remember working on a very realistic looking baby. Fake blood, things like that were difficult to work with.
Hey, we're all human. You know, we all make mistakes.
Any other words of wisdom, Gant?
You're a real prick, you know that?
I remember that we dealt with standards and practices because Omar Epps calls Benton a prick, which was not allowed to be said on the show, and we had to go through many layers of corporate executives at NBC in order to say that. But we justified it by saying, yeah, he really is, and the audience wants someone to say it finally.
Mrs. Hurley, Megan had a perforated intestine from the accident. When we operated to repair it, there were complications.
A lot of times, the most interesting and compelling stuff was the stuff heard around the actors and not necessarily seen. So in this case, I staged it in such a way where it was just really kind of about Eric LaSalle listening and hearing what he had caused, the potential damage he had caused, and how he could have changed this family's dynamic in their lives by his arrogance. In the shot, I stayed focused on Eric LaSalle, and over his shoulder is Noah Wiley's character, Carter. I just thought that was kind of appropriate to have kind of the yin and yang of the two characters, and that's why I composed it that way.
The lesson for my character was, you know, as good as he is, he can still make mistakes, and it's a constant reminder that you have to approach this job with just enough arrogance so you can do the job, and just enough humility so that it you know, nothing gets by you.
my shepherd. I shall not want.
My favorite moment was actually not involving my character. It was when Benton was praying. It wasn't anything about technique or expertise. It was the other important factor, which is, boy, God, I just need a little help from you right now.
Dr. Benton?
I can't remember the words.
For Eric LaSalle, dealing with this little baby, it's very emotional.
I find it difficult, I'll speak for myself, doing these stories about babies, having 2 daughters of my own.
But once you have a kid, a whole new world opens up to you about what that would actually mean to lose a kid.
And you create this environment on the stage where, at the risk of sounding kind of corny, where you are so far into the story that you kind of live with the story as you're doing it, and there's a connection with the characters in the script.
Everyone feels it, the crew and the actors and the director, everyone feels it. And those scenes, everyone's really quiet and just very respectful of what needs to be told and respectful of everyone's feelings. And there's definitely a desire to, like, let's get this in 1 or 2 takes, and then go to craft service and have a coffee, It's like, let's get through this as quickly and professionally as we can.
It can wear you out over the course of a 10-day shoot, because you have to believe it. So it's always tough. So as dramatic and compelling as those stories can be, I always kind of dreaded doing them because you kind of emotionally got strung out. At least I did. Maybe I'm just a big sissy, but so I 1 or 2 of those a year for me is plenty.